Hello everyone, a very good afternoon to all of you. This is Ashwin Ramani here, research analyst at SBI Securities. I welcome you all to this mid-market live with SBI Securities. I hope I'm audible and I hope you all are able to see my screen. If you all can give me a heads up in the chat box. अगर मेरी आवाज सुनाई दे रही है, स्क्रीन दिखाई दे रहे हो दिखाई दे रहा है, आप अगर लाइव हो तो आप मुझे एक बार चैट बॉक्स में कमेंट करके बता सकते हो. We just wait for a couple of minutes and then we should be good to go with today's mid-market live. So अगर मेरी स्क्रीन दिखाई दे रही है, आवाज सुनाई दे रहा है और अगर आप लाइव ज्वाइन किए हो तो आप मुझे एक बार चैट बॉक्स में कमेंट करके बता सकते हो. Great. So Murthy ji, good afternoon. So others who have joined, you all can also let me know. We'll just wait for another 30-40 seconds and then we should be good to go. Sudhakar ji, good afternoon. Audio video clear. Pankaj ji, good afternoon to you as well. Sanjeev ji, good afternoon. Narendra ji, hello, good afternoon. Audible and visible. Okay, perfect. So शुरू करते हैं आज का mid market session. So again, I think railway stocks are the ones that are shining in today's session. No index specific action muted hai. But I think a lot of railway stocks are seeing a structural change now. So after a sustained underperformance, I feel railway stocks can keep moving higher from now. We'll discuss about railway stocks towards the end. जब मैं stocks के बारे में हम discuss करेंगे, we'll discuss about RVNL, Titagar and all. We'll discuss about all that. And also I hope you all had a great Christmas with your family. And let us start with today's session. So an update on the global markets first. So I think the US markets, will be closed, account of Christmas there. But if we look at Dow Jones, so Dow Jones in the previous session, it closed around 0.6% higher. S&P 500 also closed 0.3% higher, while the Nasdaq closed around 0.2% higher. So the activity in US is likely to remain muted until the year end. I think probably next week around Jan 3rd or Jan 4th is when you will again see volumes and liquidity picking up in the markets. So I feel the next 1 week is relatively going to be subdued. We can see that in Nifty's movement as well. There's hardly any action as far as the index is concerned, but again, stock specific action remains strong. If we look at the Europe markets, again, Germany was down 0.23%, London was down 0.19%, France closed almost flat. Eurostox index also closed around 0.01% here. So I think a flat close for all the European markets. If you look at the Asian markets, Nikkei, again, the markets are closed. It's up 0.68% higher. Hang Seng, it's a holiday there. It's up 0.17%. Shanghai is open today. It's up 0.11%. Kospi, again, the market is closed 0.51% higher. So you can see majority of your European, Asian and the US markets are closed. Our markets are open. Nifty is down around 0.37%, while Sensex is also down in the same range. So we are near about the 26,050 mark in Nifty, while Sensex is around 85,100. So as we close the year, so if we look at which are the indices that have performed in the last 1 year, so as we close out on 2025, so we can clearly see that Kospi has been the best performing global index for this year. That has gone up nearly 70% returns in South Korea's Kospi. So we had a new regime change in South Korea. I think, and this has been a wonderful year for, the South Korean markets, followed by Hang Seng. Hang Seng was up around 29% in the last 1 year. If you look at Nikkei was also up in the range of 28%. So all the other Asian markets have done well, whether it's Kospi, Hang Seng, Nikkei, even China for that matter has given almost 17% returns in the last 1 year. Whereas if you see Nifty, despite all the muted performance that we have had throughout the year, considering that Nifty usually on an average gives around 12% CAGR, we are roughly around 10% in 2025. Even the US markets, European markets have done well. Europe has gone up around 17%, Nasdaq around 18%, S&P around 15%, Dow Jones around 12%. So we can clearly see that Nifty has been an underperformer 2025 as compared to the global peers. We have definitely underperformed. But that also makes a strong case for 2026 because I don't think Kospi can keep performing like this. And even there could be some profit booking that we could see probably in Kospi, Hanseng, and Nikkei probably in the next year. And probably in US as well, and hopefully some part of that money comes back to Indian markets. And hopefully by 2026 end, when we are discussing, when we are having a mid-market session, I hopefully Nifty remains at the top next year, and our index keeps reaching new highs here. So this year relatively we are at the bottom as far as the global market performance is concerned. If we look at the macro indicators, agar hum dollar index dekhe, so dollar index continues to stay down. It's below the 98 mark. But I think the major resistance for dollar index is going to be 100. So we are way below that 100 level now. As long as we stay below the 100 mark, it is a good sign, a positive sign for emerging markets like us. If you look at the US government bonds 10-year yields, I think post the RBI's intervention, I think the yields which had it almost hit a high of 6.7 has come down to 6.5 now, and we are below the trend line resistance here, which is a positive sign. If you look at dollar by rupee, so we have seen dollar, losing strength post hitting the 91 mark. I think this will be very important considering the fact that if you see this year, since almost June, from almost we went from 85 to almost 91. So dollar kind of, appreciated a lot as far as the rupee is concerned. And hopefully, we see a trend reversal in 2026 because a trend reversal is very important, for the FIIs to come back. Ideally, we want dollar to again go back to 86, 85 levels. I think that will be a sweet spot for us. If you look at crude oil, so crude oil, again, there are, some news regarding, Russia, Ukraine have started fighting again. Plus, there's tensions going on between Venezuela and US as well, considering the fact that US have intercepted some oil tankers. So that has probably led to some supply-led restrictions, because of which the oil prices from almost $55-56 a barrel has moved to $59 a barrel. So I think the overall trajectory for crude has been down. If you see from almost August this year, the crude oil has been moving in a downward trend. I feel as long as we stay below the $61-62 a barrel mark, the overall the trend is likely to be positive. India VIX, I think it's at the lowest point. It has hit a new low, 8.8. Today there's a low of 9.02. So India VIX at lower levels, that means that the premiums will be cheaper, but that also means that the intraday movement is likely to remain muted. And that is what we saw. India VIX at lower levels, especially at this holiday season, is keeping the markets range bound and relatively subdued. If you look at silver, guys, look at silver. I think the last mid-market session we were at 71. We have almost hit silver as at $75 an ounce. I think silver is running on steroids. I feel. I think the way silver has been moving, I feel silver can. I think very soon it can cross the $82 an ounce in the short term. There is no stopping silver. There are no reversal signs. So ideally, if you are holding silver, it's better to keep trailing your stop loss. So maybe you can keep it to around 70, 71 and keep trailing and ride the trend, because, very difficult to say as to where silver is going to stop now. So if you are holding silver, or if you are doing silver ETFs or silver Bs, ideally keep doing that. Don't panic when there is a correction, because there will be correction at some point. Probably 2026 we can expect at least maybe a 5-10% correction, or even more than that. But don't panic in that situation. If you are doing SIPs for long term, keep continuing your SIPs in silver. And the same goes for gold as well. Even if you look at gold, gold has crossed $4,500, $4,500 an ounce mark. And I think any move above 4,530, 4,550 is likely to push the gold prices higher as well. If you are already doing SIPs in both gold and silver, continue to do that. Even if we get a correction, continue to do. But if you are looking to enter at these levels, I would say it won't be wise to enter gold and silver at these levels because already the price is so high. Chances are that हो सकता है आप हाई पे एंटर करोगे थोड़ा सा करेक्शन आ जाए यहाँ पे. So if you are looking for a fresh entry, wait it out. Wait for some profit booking, wait for some correction. Definitely a correction आएगा because it can't keep going one way. थोड़ा सा करेक्शन आने के बाद फिर से जब भी आपको एक रिवर्सल साइंस दिखता है, प्रॉब्ली दैट इज द टाइम टू गेट इनटू सिल्वर एंड गोल्ड अगेन. बट अगर आप एसआईपीस ही कर रहे हो, आपका पर्सपेक्टिव लॉन्ग टर्म है, तो कीप डूइंग योर एसआईपीस देयर. If you look at the FII positioning, so FIIs again, if we see post the buying that we saw for 3 days, so they roughly bought around 3,600 crores. For the last 3 days, again they have resumed selling in the cash bucket. They have sold around 3,970 crores. So FIIs again this year has been not so good as far as the FIIs sentiment is concerned. They have been net sellers throughout. And I think it's largely got to do with the fact that even dollar has appreciated against the rupee. So that has, kept the FIIs away, despite the fact that we had income tax cut, GST cut, and a lot of measures that were announced, even the RBI cut interest rates. But I think none of them have kind of, excited the, FIIs. And probably that is the reason why I think, and also the major overhang as to, the India US deal as to when that can happen. So I probably the next big trigger for the markets will be the, India US deal. So I feel, and even if you look at the derivative positioning for the FIIs, almost the net long short ratio is at 12.44. Though we have seen some mild improvement from almost 8%, we have gone to 12.5%. But overall, they still continue to hold around 88% short positions in index futures. So I think the next major trigger, the major momentum will come when FII start covering the shorts and the long short ratio improves from almost 12 to 25, 30. And also they become net buyers in the cash market. And I think that can happen once, if we have a very good budget, plus if we have the India US trade deal announced quickly, I think that could be the next big trigger for the Indian markets. If we look at Nifty की हम बात करें, so post the downward sloping trendline breakout, Nifty kind of consolidated in the range. अगर आप देखोगे almost 26,250 का जो एक zone है वो 2 दिन उसी zone से resistance लेके sideways था. But today Nifty has given a breakdown. It has broken below the 26,100 mark. We are at 26,035 now. So that is kind of thoda momentum pause ho gaya hai yahan pe. And clearly RSI also, if you see, from 59 has dropped to 53. You can see that DI minus is, though it is still below the DI plus, but it's almost kind of converging now. And MACD line has also gone flat. So I feel the overall trend is still positive considering the fact that we are still above the 20-day EMA. So I think 26,000 on the downside remains a crucial support area. I feel Nifty should hold on to the 26,000 level. If not, I think we can drop below 25,830, 25,800 on the downside. On the upside, I feel up move can come only once we take out 26,250 on the upside. Because यहाँ पे एक डाउनवर्ड स्लोपिंग ट्रेंड लाइन ब्रेकआउट के बाद एक स्ट्रॉन्ग फॉलो थ्रू आया था, बट निफ्टी वाज अनेबल टू कंटिन्यू इट्स अप मूव. And I think up move it's possible only about 26,250. On the downside, it should hold a 20-day EMA of 26,000. If not, I think we can see Nifty moving towards 25,800. That is where the 50-day EMA is placed. If you look at Sensex, pretty similar story with Sensex as well. अगर हम Sensex देखें तो even Sensex has given a downward sloping trendline breakout, and I think for the last 2 sessions it was unable to cross the 85,750, 85,800 barrier. And since then, I think today it has broken below the 85,400, 85,350 zone, which was acting as a support in the previous 2 sessions. And it still trades near its 20-day EMA. So around this 20-day EMA of 85,000. So that zone will be very crucial. I hope silver is able to hold above the 85,000 mark. If not, I think we can drop below towards 84,400, 84,500 on the downside. And up move is possible only once 85,750, 85,800 is taken out. I think then chances are that Sensex can move towards 86,160, 86,200. But I think if you see one pattern that is observed in Nifty is that जब भी हमें एक ऑल टाइम हाई के आसपास देखने मिला था, बट निफ्टी इज नॉट एबल टू सस्टेन अबाउ द हाइज योर. So here we got breakout above the all-time highs. It went up. We thought, okay, now Nifty will continue its upward trajectory, and then we could see some profit booking. Again, though Nifty is near the highs here, but it's not able to break past the high and sustain higher. There is definitely some indecision that is going around, and that is what we've been seeing since the last 2 months now. Though there have been days where Nifty has moved up, but if you see from almost 11th of November, Nifty has largely traded in a range where around 25,700 on the downside and 26,300 on the upside. This is majorly where Nifty has been in, and that is kind of making intraday trading very challenging, especially days where you have gap ups and gap downs. Then you have a very strong bullish candle. You feel like, okay, now Nifty is likely to move higher, and then you get red candles, and then you think, okay, correction kahan tak extend ho sakta hai. So it's not been market where Nifty kind of moves in one direction. It's been absolutely choppy. And even if you see from July to October also, we had a downtrend, and then from almost from August to October, it kind of consolidated, and then towards October, and we saw a rally in Nifty. But again, if you see, Nifty has largely remained sideways for now. So I feel 26,250 is a immediate resistance for Nifty. I think once we take that out, then chances are that we can expect Nifty to move higher. But I feel market is keenly waiting for two things now. One is the India-US trade deal, and secondly is the budget. I feel budget can be a trigger for the next up move, and probably even January is likely to remain choppy, is what I feel. If you look at Bank Nifty, so Bank Nifty looks relatively weaker. So post breaking below the upward sloping trend line, it kind of, you can see it was unable to break above the trend line here. So the trend line which acted as a support has now started acting as a resistance. And for the last 3 days, you could see around 59,400, 59,500 acted as a strong resistance for Bank Nifty. And where Nifty and Sensex are holding above their 20-day EMA, Bank Nifty has dropped below its 20-day EMA here, and it has also broken its key support of 59,100 on the downside. So right now, Bank Nifty is at 59,000. I think if the fall continues, we can expect Bank Nifty to move even lower towards its previous swing low, that is at the 58,700 range. And if we go even lower, I think 58,500 can't be ruled out. On the upside, I think this is a major resistance for Bank Nifty, 59,450, 59,500. I think the next up move is likely in Bank Nifty only once 59,500 is taken out on the upside. So Nifty and Sensex relatively stronger compared to Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty is definitely weak currently. If you look at the heat map, again, no support from the BFSI space. HDFC and ICICI Bank both are down. Bajaj Twins are down in the zone of 1%. Shriram Finance is down 1.39. I think it's a routine profit booking in Shriram Finance, considering the fact that it had already run up a lot. So I think overall market weakness है शायद इसके लिए Shriram Finance आज profit booking ही है. Even HDFC Life is down around 0.71%. Again, IT continues to see profit booking for yet another day. HCL Tech is down 1.26%. TechM is down around 1%. Eternal is down. TCS are down around 1%. Infy is down 0.35%. So no support from the IT, no support from BFSI, no support from oil and gas as well. If you see, Reliance is flat. Coal India and ONGC are up in the zone of 0.5%. If you see auto is also down today. Maruti is down 0.8%. Bajaj Auto is down 0.9%. So we'll have the auto numbers coming on the 1st of Jan. Tata Motors passenger vehicles is down. Titan is doing well. So Titan has given a fresh breakout on the daily chart. It's up around 2%. Even the FMCG sector is quiet today. Nestle is positive, whereas rest of the other counters are trading negative. Metal counters again, though it is showing relative strength against Nifty, but there is no strong momentum in the metal space. Ultratech is up 0.54%, JSW is up 0.2%. Hindalco continues to do well. That is the best performing metal stock around. It's up around 0.7%. Bharti Airtel is down. Asian Paints is down. BL, again, there is some traction that we are seeing in the defense space. And अगर आप देखोगे railways, defense, all your PSE, CPSE companies, जब भी बजट का सीजन होता है तो आइडियली दिस दिसंबर एंड जनवरी में ये सारे स्टॉक्स में ट्रैक्शन होते ही है. Adani Ports is down. Healthcare stocks are also seeing some profit booking here. So no major support from any sectors. BFSI, IT, oil and gas, auto, all these sectors are down. And that is kind of weighing on the Nifty sentiment as well. If you look at the sector specific action, अगर हम पिछले 5 दिन देखें, so we can clearly see that it's the defense stocks that are seeing some momentum, which is up around 5% in the last 5 days, followed by your CPSE names. It's up around 3%. Metal continues to stay strong, but itna strong momentum nahi hai, which is up around 2.5%. But if you see the sectors that are down, so that's clearly healthcare, IT, PSU banks, private banks. जैसे हमने देखा कि बैंक निफ्टी वीक है, even your IT is kind of is seeing some profit booking. So healthcare is down, private banks is down, even financial services are down here. So there is strength only in your defense, railway, CPSE space, whereas if you see majority of the other sectors are down, with healthcare, IT, PSUs and private banks being the major losers. If you look at the key sectors to watch, I think this is where things get slightly interesting. If you look at RVNL, but अगर हम RVNL का daily chart देखेंगे, it seems like there is a structural change that is taking place in RVNL. Because अगर आप RVNL देखोगे from August 2024 last year, it has been in a downtrend. And it has given a downward sloping trend line breakout today. And also, if you connect the highs of 31st Jan and 6th of June, so though trend line, downward sloping trend line breakout दिया, which is a positive sign here, and volumes में भी बढ़ोतरी होते हुए नजर आ रही है. So I feel we are at an inflection point. I hope it doesn't come below 350 again. So as long as RVNL holds above 350, chances are that I think RVNL can gradually start moving up. And at least the first target remains around the 440, 445 zone with around 350 that is acting as a strong support for RVNL here. Even you can see that the DI plus has crossed over DI minus, and RSI has also gone above the 60 mark, which is a positive sign. Apart from that, even if you look at RailTel, so RailTel has also given a downward sloping trend line breakout. आप कोई भी railway sector देख लो, कोई भी railway stock देख लो, उसका daily chart पे आपको एक downward sloping trend line breakout मिलेगा, supported by rise in volumes here. So you can see even RailTel has given a downward sloping trend line breakout. It has moved above all the key moving averages. काफी time के underperformance के बाद, you can clearly see since September last year, since making the high of 600, almost it has gone down. I think as long as it sustains about 350, 355, it can at least move towards 405, 410 the short term. You can see that RSI has started to move higher. Even MACD line is moving above the zero line now. And you can see the rising histogram bars here. Apart from that, IRCON guys, also IRCON is also one railway counter again that has given a breakout on the daily charts. Again, you can see a downward sloping trend line breakout with the rise in volumes. So clearly you can see almost all the railway counters are seeing a structural change, and the trend seems to be changing from bearish to bullish, with RSI moving above 60 and the rising green histogram bars that suggests that bullish momentum is kind of picking up. So around 160 is a strong support for IRCON. As long as IRCON holds above 160, chances are that it can move higher, at least towards 190, followed by 200, 205 in the short term. Apart from that, even IRFC, if you see, even IRFC has given a downward sloping trendline breakout on the daily scale. Also, you can see there is a huge surge in the volumes in the last 3-4 sessions. Again, RSI has moved above 60. The DI plus has crossed over DI minus in the ADX indicator, and you can see rising green histogram bars. So I feel as long as 117, 118, that is a strong support for IRFC. And as long as this level holds, chances are that I think even IRFC can move towards 145, 148 levels in the short term. So definitely there is some resurgence in the railway stocks. Now, if you look at REITs again, राइट्स ने अभी आज ही एक डाउनवर्ड स्लोपिंग ट्रेंड लाइन ब्रेकआउट दिया है. इट इज स्टिल बिलो इट्स 200 डे ईएमए माधव जी. सो वील नीड टू वेट फॉर सम मोर टाइम इन राइट्स एंड तीतागर. इसके लिए मैंने ये दो स्टॉक्स के बारे में चर्चा नहीं किया बिकॉज इसमें क्लियर अभी तक डाउनवर्ड स्लोपिंग ट्रेंड लाइन ब्रेकआउट नहीं मिला है. एंड इवन इफ यू लुक एट तीतागर हैज kind of, if you see, it is yet to, I think 970 continues to remain a strong resistance for Titagar. और जब तक हम 970 क्रॉस नहीं करते थे तब तक भले ही तीतागर मोमेंटम में है, I feel on the downside, this level is likely to act as a strong support around 760, 780 levels. Though it is in a strong trend, but I feel जब तक ये 970 breakout नहीं करता है तब तक हम वो structural change बोल नहीं सकते हैं तीतागर में. That is why I think from the railway counters, RVNL, Railtel, Ircon and IRFC, these are the four counters that are doing well. Apart from that, guys, I think Sudhakarji was asking about cement stocks. So even cement stocks are seeing some traction. If you look at Dalmia Bharat, so Dalmia Bharat, again, there was one, I think post the downtrend, it gave a pullback, then there was a correction, and again it has crossed above its previous high here. And I think even Dalmia Bharat looks set to move higher towards 2,200, 2,250. With around 2050, 2070 acting as a strong support. You can see that DI plus is above DI minus, MACD line is pointing upwards. So that is indicating towards some bullish momentum picking up in Dalmia Bharat. Apart from that, even Ramco Cements for that matter, in the morning trade, Ramco Cements was very good. It kind of looked like it was breaking out of that 1070, 1040 range. But it has seen some profit booking at the higher levels here. But I think once, if Ramco Cements gives a strong breakout about 1070, then chances are that it can keep moving higher. It can probably move towards 1100, 1120 levels in the short term, with 1040 acting as a strong support for Ramco Cements. Apart from that, GMDC, yes, Madhavji, agar GMDC also has given a very strong breakout with rise in volumes. RSI is in a rising mode. DI plus has crossed over DI minus in ADX, so that also indicates a bullish trend strength. You can see the green histogram bars, rising bars in the MACD chart, so that indicates towards bullish momentum. RSI भी healthy है, momentum 60 के ऊपर है, and a downward sloping trend line breakout भी मिला. So this is what you call it as क्लासिक प्राइस एक्शन एंड मोमेंटम इंडिकेटर्स आप ऐसे ही देखते हो. प्राइस एक्शन में आपको एक ब्रेकआउट है, दैट इज अ चेक, whether it's a horizontal trend line breakout or a downward sloping breakout. Then you see whether it trades above all the key moving averages. Then you see whether there is a volume pickup. Then you see whether RSI is in a rising mode. Then you see whether trend strength hai ki nahi, whether DI plus is above DI minus. Then you see the green histogram bars, whether it is rising, MACD slope upwards hai ki nahi. That is how you pick some strong stocks that are exhibiting strong momentum on the daily charts as well. So you are combining price action as well as the indicators, and then you have to find out where the next support is. So ideally for GMDC, this 50-day EMA of 535, 540, that continues to act as a strong support. Now, apart from that, even if you look at Titan, so Titan has given a fresh breakout on the daily chart today. Though the volumes is not very strong, but you can see that RSI from 60 has moved up. Then you can see that DI plus is well above the DI minus here. You can see bullish trend strength hai. But MACD line abhi bhi flat hai. I hope that can improve once we have a strong follow through coming in Titan here. But nevertheless, Titan has given a breakout. And अगर आप थोड़ा पीछे जाओगे, Titan का chart देखोगे, this zone has acted as a major resistance for Titan. And post the breakout, looks very highly likely that Titan is most likely to hold higher. And the last stock that I want to discuss is Deepak Nitrite. अगर आप Deepak Nitrite भी देखोगे, काफी टाइम का अंडर के बाद there is a downward sloping trend line breakout in Deepak Nitrite. The RSI has moved above 60. You can see rising green histogram bars with DI plus well above DI minus. So trend strength bhi hai. So I think if this continues, we can expect 1850, 1880 levels in the short term, with around 1720, 1710 acting as a strong support for Deepak Nitrate. So your railway names, some names in metal, some names in cements. These are some of the names that are doing well, and that is something that you all can keep in your watch list as well. So that was all about this week's mid-market session as we look forward to the weekend. So I hope today's session was informative. And now let us start off with our question and answer session for the next 10-15 minutes. If you have any queries, any doubts, do let me know in the chat box. Murthy ji, IRETA is good, but it is yet to give a downward sloping trendline breakout. Agar aap dekhoge, whereas the other railway names have given a breakout, IRETA is yet to give a breakout here. That is the reason why I didn't consider IRETA and I consider the other railway stocks here. So even if you look at NMDC is also good. GMDC हमने देखा, NMDC is good. Around 78.5 is a strong resistance for NMDC. Even National Aluminium is good. The overall metal space is doing well. I think around 285, 290 is where the support is for National Aluminium. Very good stocks, stocks that are in strong trend. Even if you look at Tata Steel में थोड़ा सा consolidation है. I would say wait until we get a breakout above 174, 175. I think once we get that, I think then we can expect for the stock to move towards 184, 185. If you look at Hudco, I would say avoid करना इतना strong नहीं लग रहा है. Chart से tilts trades below its 50 and 100-day EMA. I would say, but if you are already holding, then I think consider around 210 as a support, but avoid fresh entry in Hudco. HEG, yeah, HEG is good. I think it needs some sustained performance. I think it can kind of move towards 600, 605 with around 520, 525 acting as a strong support for HEG. NBCC is also good, yes. So agar aap dekhoge, even NBCC has kind of given a fresh breakout on the daily chart. I think it can move up higher with around 115, acting as a strong support for NBCC. Parthasarathi, RVNL is good. Santosh ji, you can continue to hold. RVNL हमने देखा. I feel 350 का support लेके आप hold कर सकते हो. Vedanta fresh entry, see it has already kind of risen a lot. But I think if you are, don't go with a big amount. I would say थोड़ा सा staggered approach लेना चाहिए Parthasarathi ji. Maybe around, if you are entering, maybe you can keep around 580 as a strict SL. Because if it goes below 580, you exit. But if it keeps moving up higher, then you can gradually keep building positions in Vedanta. But the overall trend is strong with around 580 as a strong support. Midani, I think हमने discuss किया था Ima ji. I think you can continue to hold with around 285, 290 as a support for Midani. Rights again, it has given a downward sloping breakout. I think you can consider around 240 as a support for rights here. Sudhakar ji, Anjali ji is asking for SRF. SRF, it's good. It's kind of picking up. But I think wait until 3145, 3150. I think once we get a breakout, I think we can expect it to move towards 3200 with around 3050 acting as a strong support. Sir, we do not see significant effect of RBI's purchasing bonds and USD bonds and 4 tranches to inject liquidity. But I think it will take time for it to. I think right now what RBI is trying to do is they are just trying to manage the dollar from not significantly, getting stronger against the rupee. So every time yields goes up and every time dollar strengthens against the rupee, they kind of manage it out. But I think the 4 tranches, I think we'll see that probably by quarter. I think the next quarter is, I don't think we can see that impact, but hopefully in the April, May, June quarter next year, that is the first quarter of FY27. I think that is when probably we could see some effects of this liquidity picking up. Because right now I feel, despite, I think even government has tried a lot, the GST cuts, income tax cuts, RBI trying to play the managing game. But I feel hopefully the budget should act as a catalyst. And hopefully once this India-US trade deal is behind our back, I think, why our markets are underperforming is because of lack of participation by the FIIs. Because, when FII start participating, that is when we actually see good volumes and, good liquidity in the system. But the fact that FPIs for the last 5-6 months have been away from our markets, and we can see that, I mean, if you look at the global performance, a lot of money has moved to the other Asian markets, US markets after Donald Trump joined in, and even the Europe markets here. And our markets have underperformed. And that is the reason why we are not able to see that kind of momentum in our markets. So I feel, once FIIs are back, and once, RBI keeps doing that and tries to bring the dollar down, and hopefully if we have a very good budget, then hopefully things should improve in 2026. Tata Silver, which is that? Which stock is that? Are you talking about silver ETF, Karthik ji? I don't know. If you're talking about silver piece, then I think अगर वो silver ETF का अगर आप बात कर रहे हो तो थोड़ा अभी fresh entry मत करना silver में, wait for some correction. Because already वो high prices पे है, अभी ये level पे enter करना थोड़ा सा it won't be advisable. Wait for some correction in silver. I know थोड़ा वो fear of missing out वाला feeling आता है looking at how silver prices have been moving in, but the overall trend is still up. Wait for some correction and then a reversal to enter into silver and gold. Bellrise, Manorji, Bellrise is good. Bellrise, you can continue to hold. It has given a fresh breakout. Consider having 170 as a support for Bellrise. Even IDFC First Bank is good. I think as long as 82, 82.5 is respected on the downside, the overall trend is positive. Astral, I'm not sure about Astral. Astral avoid karna Maulik ji, because I think iska 1390 एक strong support है. I think once we break below 1390, then chances are that it can move down even further. So wait, don't go for fresh entry in Astral. Natco Pharma again, I think wait till we get a breakout above 950, 955. I think once 950, 955 is taken out, chances are that it can move up higher. National Aluminium is good. Pramod, you can continue to hold National Aluminium. Overall trend is positive. I think around 280, 285, you can consider that as a support. FI participation will be bleak. Hopefully, see if there is, I don't know if there is any surprises or any, a card that government is going to play in the union budget. If I don't see that if there'll be any reduction in STT, or are they going to tinker around with the LTCG, that is long-term capital gains? Because if you remember 2017, if I'm not sure, or 2019, that is previously, long-term capital gains mein tax nahi tha. And then I think there was a long-term capital gain tax that was introduced, and that led to FIIs moving out. And then again, there was some concessions that was given to them. So I think that could be a major trigger for us if there is any reduction in STT, or if government decides to go, or announce something as far as the LTCG is concerned. I think that could be a big positive, and that could, make way for FIIs to participate in, huge numbers again. And I think that could be a major catalyst, and I think that could probably put all the, underperformance, that would bury the underperformance. And I feel, the next year could be significant once FIIs return. I think markets are eagerly waiting for that. You can look at 10 different things. You can say India, US, you can look at Bank of Japan, yen carry trade, you can look at RBI, injecting liquidity, whether it's GST cuts, interest rate cuts, whether DIIs have been participating, there is an increased retail participation. But, our markets, we really, for us to see that kind of momentum, the FIs need to participate. And then if you remember post, Jane Street ka ban hone ke baad, the liquidity has kind of, gone down. I don't know if whether they are still participating in our markets. But clearly looking at the cash data, and the long short ratio has been hovering around that 15-20% since last three and a half, 4 months now. As much as we want to be Atmanirbhar, as much as we want retail to participate and DIIs to participate, we have healthy SIP flows. But that market gets that momentum when FIIs participate, because they bring in huge amount of capital, and they literally could shake the markets here and there. With DI and retail participation, even if FIIs are selling, we are kind of holding on. We are not seeing a big correction. But imagine, with DII's participation on a rise, with retail participation on a rise, if FIIs also participate, which is lacking, I think our markets will probably move around above the all-time highs and keep moving up higher. Despite all that, despite FIIs not participating, despite dollar being at 91, despite dollar index moving above 100 in the meantime, we are still near about the all-time highs here. It's not that Nifty is down around 5-10% from the all-time highs. It's only the small caps that are not participating. Even we are seeing some traction in the small cap space, but इतना सब नेगेटिव न्यूज के बावजूद भी निफ्टी अपने ऑल टाइम हाइस के करीब है. बट वो मोमेंटम दैट इज लैकिंग. सी, मार्केट इज मूविंग अप स्लोली, स्टेडीली, गैप अप गैप डाउन होके ऊपर ऊपर जा रहा है. बट इट्स वो जो मोमेंटम हमें अभी जैसे रेलवे स्टॉक्स में जैसे मोमेंटम दिख रहा है, वैसे मोमेंटम दिख नहीं रहा है इंडेक्स में. And that is the reason why I think that has got to do with the fact that the FIs aren't participating here. So I think once they come back, and hopefully if we have a deal between India and US soon, I think that could be a major trigger for the markets here. Participation in derivative markets काफी कम है. So even the option participation has kind of come down. बीच में I think from वो weekly expiries, पहले बैंक निफ्टी निफ्टी सब में हुआ करता था. देन आई थिंक सिर्फ एक ही इंडेक्स, एक ही एक्सचेंज को एक ही इंडेक्स पे वीकली एक्सपायरी होगा. इफ यू रिमेंबर, पीपल यूज्ड टू प्ले इन बैंक निफ्टी, फिन निफ्टी, निफ्टी अ लॉट, and I think now we have only Sensex and Nifty here. So no return from the Indian market in 2025. We have still gone, I think if you look 2025, Nifty has given around 9-10% returns. But this year, I think if you look at man of the match for 2025, it is definitely silver and gold. So silver and gold has been real outperformers, but chances are that यही next year भी continue होगा क्या पता नहीं. Silver and gold ये साल return दिया, अभी यही continue होगा next year का, it's highly doubtful. Probably considering the fact that gold and silver has already moved up, chances are that next year probably Nifty can underperform here. Copper and zinc. You can, even if you look at copper futures, even copper futures काफी ऊपर चला गया. It's up around 7.4% today. But again, that's the only thing now. If you look at almost all commodities, even if you look at zinc for that matter, zinc is slightly underperforming. But even zinc prices काफी ऊपर चले गए. So the thing is with gold, silver, copper, zinc, सारे ऊपर चले गए. So investing at this point of time is slightly not advisable. थोड़ा correction के लिए wait करते हैं. Let it correct decently, at least 5-7%, 5-8% from the highs. And then अगर फिर से अगर एक reversal signs मिलता है, I think then that is the time that you should be considering in. New entry in railway sector. I think we discussed railway stocks, Satosh ji. Like you can look at RVNL, Railtel, Ircon, IRFC. These are some good names here. Nifty view for Monday, Tuesday, can it break 25,850? See, highly, I think the first support is at 26,000 is where the 20-day EMA is placed for Nifty. But अगर 26,000 के नीचे हम गिरते हैं तो हो सकता है हम 25,800 तक आ जाए. But I think the before 25,850 key level to watch out would be 26,000. So that is something that needs to be seen. Yeah, even Japan has tabled ambitious budget resulting in increasing yields. So yeah, Japan yields are kind of moving up. So hopefully, maybe there could be some money flowing out of US markets, particularly. Japan doesn't have significant exposure to Indian markets, but maybe some flows can, maybe Nikkei could be a strong performer next year. Maybe Nifty can also perform next year. But the US, again, if Fed goes for rate cuts, in 2026. So even yields will go down in US. That could probably make other markets attractive. But if Fed decides not to go for only one rate cut, then I think even US markets, the yields will start moving up higher in US as well. But I feel, yeah, keep an eye on Nikkei. I think Nikkei, it could be a year for Nikkei has already performed this year. If you look at Nikkei, it's already up around 28%. So Nikkei already has shown some good outperformance here. But nevertheless, hopefully, we are lagging behind the global peers. Hopefully, 2026 is a good year for Nifty. Okay, so that's all from this week's Split Market session, guys. I hope it was informative, and I hope you all are liking these sessions. If yes, then do share the link with your friends, families, and relatives so that as we start 2026, even more people join in because your appreciation is my motivation. And if you have anything, if you want me to add anything, do let me know in the chat box because we are here to improve. And if you need anything, do let me know. And I'm here to help you guys. And I'm here to guide you with whatever knowledge I have, whatever experience that I have. I'm here to share with you guys. Okay, so that's all from today's session. Happy weekend to everyone. And now we meet directly on 29th of December. And happy weekend. Take care and stay safe.